thought I would bring some of my favorite animals. And some of them we're going to get to look at. And some of you are going to get to touch and pet and hold, no squeezing or kissing my lizards, okay? And we're going to learn a whole bunch of really, really, really cool stuff about animals today. But I thought we would start first with my noisiest one because she insists on it. Step up. Good bird. This is Maybelline. And I know what you're thinking right off the bat. You're saying, wait a second. That is not a lizard. You're absolutely right. This is Maybelline. She's a blue and gold macaw. Macaws are the largest members of the parrot family. But I get to bring her for a couple of different reasons. Reason number one she gets to come is because she's very noisy. And she doesn't listen to anybody but me. And my neighbors just hate it when I leave her home alone, so she squawks. That's reason number one. Reason number two is because she does come from the rainforest. And many of my animals come from the rainforest. And I thought it might be nice to see some of the other kinds of animals that live in the forests and jungles. And the third reason is because she is related to the reptiles. How many of you have ever heard of a dinosaur named Velociraptor? I figured you might, thanks to Mr. Spielberg. Everybody knows who Velociraptor is, huh? Well, she comes from a family of birds we call raptors. Ooh, sounds familiar, huh? Raptor. And many scientists believe that Velociraptor, the dinosaur, did not just disappear in a puff of smoke. Poof, they're gone and extinct. But rather, they changed over millions and millions of years because of the changing environment from that big meteorite impact 65 million years ago. And they believe that modern raptors are descended from the Velociraptor, the dinosaur. Let's take a look at some of the differences. If we were to look at a Velociraptor, the dinosaur, you'd see a dinosaur who had a very large head because he was very intelligent. Well, for a dinosaur anyway. He had great big sharp teeth for his hunting. He stood upright on 2 legs. Most dinosaurs crawled around on 4 legs. He had a big tail to balance out that upright action of his body, and he had big, sharp, strong, killing claws. Let's look at our modern-day raptor. Hawks and eagles, owls and falcons, they're all raptors. Let's look at Maybelline, because she's also a member of the raptor family. She has a very large head. Well, for a bird. She has a very large brain for a bird. For a bird, I said. She has the intelligence of a 3-year-old child. I mean, she can open doors. She can get out of her cage. She can figure out problems. She also has the temperament of a 2-year-old child, which means that she'll be kind of grumpy and whiny for the next 75 years. So she's pretty smart for a bird. She stands upright on 2 legs. Nice shot. But we always have a target. She stands upright on 2 legs. Most animals crawl around on 4 legs, don't they? She has great big sharp killing teeth. Okay, her teeth are a big sharp claw, her beak, and all raptors have big strong beaks. And she has great big long killing toenails. Can I see your claws, please? Lift up your foot. Thank you. Nice claws. Good bird. How about this one? Can we see this one? Lift up. Foot, 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 foot. Thank you. Good. Okay, we'll do it the hard way. Foot. Nice claws. Good bird. So she has a lot in common with the dinosaurs. In fact, if you look at a bird's feet, you'll notice that their skin is kind of scaly, just like reptile skin is, very similar, and that their feathers overlap each other in the same manner that scales do on snakes and lizards. So let's see if she can do some tricks for us. I told you how smart she was. Let's see how good she is. Maybelline, sit. Good bird. Look how well she sits. No, it gets better. Watch. Maybelline, stay. Good bird. Look how well she stays. This is her best watch. Maybelline, roll over, play dead. Roll over, play dead. A second, we have to have a conference. We passed an El Pollo Loco on the way in here, remember? I will drop you off on the way back out. Yes. Now she understands perfectly. Yes. One last try. Roll over and play dead. Dead bird. Dead birds don't squawk. By the way, she's the poster child for why you don't want to own a big parrot, because they're very large, they're very noisy, and they do make a very large mess in your house. Can you give Daddy a big kiss for me? That would be a no, I take it. Alrighty. By the way, everybody, hold up your thumb for me. Everybody, hold up your thumb. Imagine a tree branch as thick as your thumb. In the wild, she could fly up to a tree branch as thick as your thumb and bite it off with one chomp. So we never go up to a strange bird and say, "Does your bird bite?" The answer is probably yes. And you'll be known as Four-Fingered Bob, okay? Good bird. Can you be a good bird? Yeah, right. Okay. Well, how many of you guys have ever seen a real live dinosaur before? Really? You've seen a really live dinosaur? That's amazing because most of the dinosaurs have been gone for 65 million years. Notice how I said that? I said most of the dinosaurs have been gone for 65 million years. You see, as it happens, there are some dinosaurs who survived the big impact from the asteroid or the meteorite or the comet or whatever it was 65 million years ago. And we know this because we have the fossil record. And in the fossil record, we found fossils of big dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor. We also found fossils of smaller dinosaurs like alligators. All of the crocodilian family were alive when the dinosaurs were here. Things like sharks were alive when the dinosaurs were here. And so were turtles and tortoises. You see, we have fossils of turtles and tortoises from the time when the dinosaurs walked on the earth. So if you have seen a turtle or a tortoise, you've actually seen a living dinosaur. He's changed a little bit in the last 65 million, but not a whole lot. And you know what? This is called a box turtle. This is my little box turtle. He's called a box turtle because his shell works kind of like a box. The top of his shell is solid, but the bottom shell has a hinge right across here, a little skin flap. And when he's afraid, he can move that hinge up and down and pull his arms and legs inside. Let's see if he'll be afraid for us. Boo. 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 He says, no, I'm not going to be afraid for you. When he's afraid, he can pull his arms and his legs completely inside. He can even put his tail up inside. He can shut that little flap, and he looks just like a rock. How many predators eat rocks? None. Pretty good camouflage, huh? Yeah. Oh, what's your name? Sarah, would you like to come up here and pet him for me? She said, no. He's just a turtle. Okay, come here. What's your name today? What was your name yesterday? Vanessa. Just checking. Vanessa, you stand right on the O for me. Now, I want you to touch him. Is he hard or soft?
Hard.
He's hard. He's got a very good shell. How about his skin? Is it hard or soft?
Soft.
Skin's very soft. Is he hot or cold?
Cold.
Cold. Is he fuzzy or smooth?
Smooth.
He's smooth. Very good. And that's how we describe a reptile. A reptile is an animal that has dry, rough, or scaly skin. No fur. A reptile is cold-blooded, so it should be cold or at least at room temperature. See, dry, rough, and scaly skin, lungs for breathing, hatches from an egg, and he's cold-blooded. You guys know what cold-blooded means? What does cold-blooded mean? What does cold-blooded mean? Oh, you were just stretching. What's cold-blooded mean? Cold. Means he's cold. Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa. You can have a seat. Sit. Roll over, play dead. Cold-blooded means that his body temperature does not change when he wants it to. You are warm-blooded. Everybody take your hand, put your hand in the back of your neck. Is it hot or cold? If it's cold, you got problems, boy. Your neck should be warm or at least kind of hot, because you are warm-blooded. Your body generates energy, and that energy translates into heat. So on a hot day, your body sweats to cool down. On a cold day, your body shivers to warm up. His body temperature and all reptiles' body temperature goes up and down with the air temperature around them. So right now, his body temperature is about 70 degrees. That's about right because the air conditioning is on. On a really hot day, his body temperature is as hot as it was outside. What if it's 105 outside? His body temperature would go up to 105. What happens to you if your body temperature goes to 105? Yeah, Mom says, man, you got a bad fever. You can't go to school for at least a couple of days. What if it's really cold outside? If it's 45 degrees outside, his body temperature drops down to 45 degrees. What happens to you if your body temperature drops to 45 degrees? Yeah, we say you're assuming room temperature. Oh, wait, at 45 degrees, you are room temperature, huh? So, do you think being a reptile is a pretty good way to survive a lot of different changing environmental conditions? Yeah, it's pretty flexible, huh? Now, that's my little turtle. I brought a little bit bigger one with me today. This is my bigger one. This is a California desert tortoise. He's a little bit different from the box turtle. The box turtle had the hinge on his palastron. That's the shell on the bottom. It's called his palastron. But the tortoise does not have a hinge. His shell is solid all the way across. And so when he wants to hide his face, because he's afraid, he's a little better at it. Boo. 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 He can pull those great big, very strong Popeye arms up in front of him. And look how thick they are and how big those scales are. And he can protect his face and his head by hiding behind those very large fists and forearms. He's kind of like the turtle because he still has the shell on the back. And you can do this with any turtle or tortoise anywhere in the world. These round areas on the back of their shell are called scutes. And every turtle or tortoise worldwide has 13 scutes. And you can count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 on any turtle or tortoise. That's kind of an interesting thing in folklore with them. Now this guy's only about 45, 50 years old. He's pretty young. Some California desert tortoises can live up to 150 years. I saw a thing on the news just the other night where there was a Galapagos Island tortoise in an Egyptian zoo that was 315 years old. And he looked pretty spry to me. Imagine having a pet for 315 years. Yeah, that's a pretty long time. What? It was a giant Galapagos tortoise, and he was about this big. This guy's never going to get that big. But here, I want you to feel those front forearms. Kind of tough, aren't they, huh? Dry, rough, and scaly. Very good for protecting himself. Many people say, they say, Richard, because that's my name. They say, Richard, what's that little thing sticking out? Has he got a chin rest because he's lazy? No, that's actually how he does battle with other tortoises in the wild. You see, they fight each other for territory and control of certain areas of land, and he will walk up to another tortoise. He will hook that under the side of the shell, and then he'll use those powerful legs just like a bulldozer, and he'll try to tip the other tortoise onto his back. What happens if a tortoise ends up on his back? He gets stuck sometimes and he can't right himself up. What happens if he can't right himself back up? He dies and becomes food for somebody else, huh? So it's pretty much a good idea to make sure you don't get tipped over, so you better have the best little pry bar and strongest legs, huh? All right, let's put you back. We'll get somebody a little smaller. Good tortoise. Let's see who we got in the old bag today. I mean that nicely. Oh, I see you're getting kind of wiggly, aren't you? Who's here? Okay, we'll use this one. A lot of people ask me, gee, can they breathe inside the bag? Absolutely. Imagine if you took your t-shirt or your bed sheet and you held it up in front of your face and covered your head with it. Can you still breathe? No. If you can't breathe, how come you didn't pass out when he did that? Oh, sorry. No, wait. No, you can breathe through fabric because fabric is made up of little tiny strands of string. And those little tiny threads interweave with each other, but air can pass right through fabric. So he can hide inside of this. He can still get air, and he's still completely comfortable. If he was living in the wild, what would he be doing most of the day? He'd be sleeping and hiding, huh? If he's out in the open, you think he feels comfortable? Probably not. But if he's hiding inside of a bag, that makes him feel really comfortable. This is called a prehensile-tailed skink. You guys know what a prehensile tail means? Let me see if I can help you out. A monkey has a prehensile tail. Well, he's not a monkey. Oh, wait. A possum has a prehensile tail. Oh, he's not related to the possum. Oh, an elephant has a prehensile nose. Well, he's not an elephant either. But you know what? His tail works just like an arm. And he can wrap around things and hold on with just his tail. That's a pretty good defensive tactic. Where do you think he lives? Does he live up in the desert or does he live down in the rainforest? He is in the rainforest in the trees.